Kuro Games truly are the goats of gacha. Kuro Games have finally listened, my fellow flames. Yes, our prayers have been answered. Our calls and cries have been heard. After many moons of wondering, after many months of waiting, we finally have the very thing we've been waiting for quite literally an entire year. Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow flames of amethyst, the shackles of the restraining 5-star units has finally been broken. The desolate drought of the 4-star resonator has finally come to an end. Because, my fellow flames, upon the release of Wuthering Waves 2.8, not only are we getting Chisa, we are also getting Buling. And the amazing thing about Buling is, unlike her 4-star predecessors, she might actually be good. She might actually be viable. She might actually be useful. We might finally have a worthy 4-star that is going to be able to buff and support our team, not destroy and nerf it. Now, before you go,
but actually, technically, we already have 4-stars that are worthy of our teams. We got Mortefi, we got Sanhua, so technically your information and what you're saying is quite irrelevant.
Yes, I know we have Sanhua, I know we have Mortefi, I know this, but what I'm trying to say is, that she might be the first summonable 4-star in over a year that's going to be useful, in over a year that's going to be viable, in over a year that's going to actually support our team. And also bear in mind, the last 2 summonable 5-stars were both useless. One of them was Lumi, who's a speedster that did absolutely nothing for Wuthering Waves, and the other one was this creature, this thing that I despise with a passion. Okay, now look, all jokes aside, I'm not saying that 4-stars like Sanhua and Mortefi are irrelevant, because quite frankly, they're very good units, but I'm saying in terms of summonable 4-stars, since launch, we've only had Yuhu and we've only had Yumi, who have been very lackluster and didn't really bring anything to the table when it comes to Wuthering Waves' meta, or comes to Wuthering Waves in general. So the fact that finally we're getting Buling, who has had quite a heavy part in the story since 2.4, it makes me very optimistic that this unit is going to be very viable and very useful when it comes to our meta teams, and when it comes to using her in things like TOA and other endgame modes. And another thing I'm very much looking forward to when it comes to Buling is that this is the first summonable 5-star people are genuinely excited for. People loved Buling's involvement in 2.4 story, people loved Buling's involvement in all of the story that she showed up in. People like the character of Buling, therefore people want to see more Buling, so the fact that she's coming in 2.8 suggests she's probably going to be in the story of 2.8 if we have one, and also the fact that people like this character suggests that people are actually going to be more inclined to summon on the banner she shows up on. Please, for the love of God, she better be on Chisa's banner. She better be on Chisa's banner. Kuro, if you do the same goddamn thing again as you used to do, where you put the 4-stars on the second banner and you don't put the brand new 4-star on the brand new 5-star banner, it makes no sense to me. I would very much prefer it if the brand new 4-star was on the brand new 5-star banner, because in case I don't get the brand new 5-star I want, it means I have a good chance of getting the brand new 4-star that I may or may not like. So regardless whether I get my brand new 5-star, at least I have a high chance of coming away with something new rather than nothing. But anyway, I digress. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm very happy that there's more 4-stars coming to Wuthering Waves. However, there is a raise of concern when it comes down to Buling's release. The first concern is the fact that, is Buling going to be viable and good, or is she going to be terrible? Now, Kuro Games' track record for summonable 4-stars haven't been the best, okay? So we had Lumi, who was 1.4 4-star, which was a year ago. I still can't believe it's been a year since we've had a 4-star. And then before Lumi, we had Yuhu, who was absolutely terrible, controversial, and quite frankly, no one gave a damn about Yuhu in the slightest. At least with Lumi, people actually liked her design and actually wanted to play and try Lumi to see if she was good. But unfortunately, the only thing Lumi brought to the table, Kuro Games added as a mechanic anyway in 2.0, being the speedster mechanic. Obviously, Lumi could go super fast, she could increase her speed. However, in 2.0, that kind of got dismantled and kind of became irrelevant, because Kuro Games added the cat paw prints where you walk through them and you get the speed that Lumi gets anyway. And also, Lumi was just terrible in a fight. She couldn't fight, she didn't really have anything good to use when it came down to the combat of Wuthering Waves. She was fun for a little while, but after a while you kind of knew exactly what she could do, who she was, and she kind of brought nothing else to the table. Therefore, people just benched her, which is a shame, because Lumi's a very well designed character and her personality is very lovable. So when it comes to Buling, I hope they give her a good treatment, I hope they give her the spotlight, I hope they make her viable and make her useful for us to use on teams to synergize with. Now, I know she's been involved in the story, as I said earlier on in this video, so because they've involved her so much in the story, in the main story, I hope that means Kuro Games actually like Buling enough to give her a good kit to make her very useful, very usable, and very good for us all to have fun with. The Wuthering Waves 2.8 livestream is happening this Friday. I am going to be reacting to it. I cannot wait to see it and see what they have in store. Hopefully there's combat events that many people have been asking for. Hopefully there's a main story quest. If not, I hope we have a Chisa and Buling character story quest for each of them, or maybe Buling shows up in Chisa's story quest if Chisa's the only one that gets a story within this update. And I also hope that we actually see more of what Buling can do. Obviously we're going to be seeing her kit after that live stream goes live. Usually they release the main characters kits about a couple of hours or a day maybe after the live stream goes live. So after the 2.8 live stream, not too long after that, we're going to be seeing what Buling and Chisa can do, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing if Buling is going to be a very viable 4-star, or if she's just going to be like Lumi and Yoo-Hoo, where she's just there to collect and just there for aesthetics, and no one's going to use her after the first couple of weeks of testing her out. Now, my second worry about Buling's launch, about the brand new 4-star Buling's launch, is this going to be the case where they finally heard that we're complaining that there's no 4-stars and that there was a massive meme going around saying there's only 5 stars in Wuthering Waves, 4 stars no longer exist, they're like a dying breed, they're near enough extinct, you know, they're never going to release more 4-stars, and they've created Buling, released Buling, and then they've now gone, okay, that'll tide them over for the next 6 months to a year until we decide to release another 4-star. Is this going to be the next 4-star to release, and then after Buling there's going to be nothing, and there's going to be a second coming drought where we're not going to get any 4-stars? I would like some male 4-star characters, because most of the characters that are 5-stars within Wuthering Waves are female, and there's nothing wrong with that. Collect your waifu. I hope you get the summons, and I hope you collect the waifus and the women characters that you desire. But for me personally, as much as I love my hot sexy waifus, I occasionally want a badass dude messing the enemy up, like John. You know, I like John. You know, Shuyuan's just come out. He's really cool. But I would very much in the future, if they're going to release more female 5-stars, I would very much like some male 4-stars. Even if they decide to stick with the 2 to 3 male 5-stars every single year, can we at least get an additional 2 male 4-stars? That way we still get 4 or 5 male characters throughout the year anyway, which balances out the male to female ratio. That's just a little nitpick for me. But anyway, I digress. Is this going to be the last 4-star for another year? That is one thing that I'm worried about. I've seen a few people also talk about this, which made me chuckle, made me laugh. It's like, yeah, the drought's ending until next year. Until Buling, and then we have to wait another year. That could also be a possibility. I don't think they'll release a 4-star being Buling and then not have any other 4-stars within the next 6 months to a year. I don't think they'll do that. But then again, they could. It's Kuro Games. They're unpredictable. But you guys let me know down below in the comments. Are you excited for Buling? Are you going to play Buling and test her out when she releases? And do you think there will not be any more 4-stars for the next year after Buling's release? Let me know down below in the comments, and let me know if you are excited about 2.8 as an update as a whole. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like, comment down below, and subscribe if you are new. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, have a good rest of your day and take it easy.